Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, so the 2026-27 European football season is literally right around the corner. And sure, we all know preseason is that time for players to finally shake off the summer rust. But if you look a bit closer, something way more fascinating is happening on the sidelines right now. Managers are quietly but intensely testing brand new tactical frameworks that are probably going to define this entire upcoming year. This is exactly the kind of stuff you need to be watching out for during your weekend viewing. So today, we're diving straight into the absolutely crucial tactical takeaways from these preseason friendlies.
Here's our agenda for today. Section 1, the tactical chess match. Section 2, Real Madrid's fluid transitions. Section 3, Barcelona's aggressive high press. Section 4, Premier League system tinkering. And finally, Section 5, who will dominate 2026/27. Let's get right into it.
Section 1, the tactical chess match. Preseason really isn't just about running laps and building basic fitness anymore. As our source material perfectly captures, these matches are actually a high-stakes chess match. Think about it. When you're managing at the very top of European football, you simply cannot afford to still be figuring things out in week 1 or 2 of the regular season, right? The whole goal here is to deliberately stress test your formations against top-tier opposition. Managers are intentionally trying to expose their own system flaws so they can spot them, analyze them, and get them completely fixed before opening day.
Section 2, Real Madrid's fluid transitions.
So before we break down their specific attack, let's establish exactly what a mid-block transition actually is, because Madrid has been showing a much more fluid version of this in their recent tour fixtures. Instead of pressing all the way up the pitch, or just parking the bus in their own penalty area, a mid-block stations the defensive shape right in the middle of the pitch. It's basically a launch pad. The absolute second the ball is recovered, the team is perfectly positioned to just explode into a rapid, devastating attack.
And wow, notice how Carlo Ancelotti is utilizing his superstars within this mid-block framework. The transition is just instantaneous the moment they win the ball. You've got Jude Bellingham immediately driving forward straight through the center, while Kylian Mbappe floats outward into the wide channels. By doing this, Madrid is intentionally creating these massive overload situations on the left wing. I mean, defenses simply cannot cope with the sheer numbers and the sheer talent drifting into that space. This dynamic movement makes their counterattacking speed look sharper than ever. It guarantees their transition phase is absolutely lethal before the league even officially kicks off.
Section 3, Barcelona's aggressive high press.
Now, swinging over to Catalonia, Hansi Flick relies heavily on what we call pressing traps. Let's pause here for a second to really understand this concept, because it is the absolute foundation of his system. A pressing trap isn't just running after the ball. Actually, scratch that, it's the exact opposite of blindly chasing the ball. It is a highly coordinated defensive movement. The team deliberately leaves a specific passing lane wide open, literally baiting the opponent into playing the ball into that exact area. And the moment that pass is made, snap, the trap is sprung. Multiple players aggressively swarm the receiver to force a rapid turnover in a super dangerous area. It makes it a total nightmare for opponents trying to build out from the back. During their warm-up games, we've seen Flick's high-risk, high-reward system fully unleashed. Barcelona's defensive line has been sitting remarkably high up the pitch. We're talking sometimes pushing 40 meters out from their own goal, just to compress the space completely. This incredibly high line supports Lamine Yamal and the rest of the front line as they act as the triggers for those aggressive pressing traps we just talked about. They're actively suffocating the opposition right on their own doorstep. But as we look at this high-octane approach, there's a massive elephant in the room: endurance. Can Barcelona truly maintain this level of physical intensity over a grueling 50-game season? Playing a line that high and constantly springing traps requires just an unbelievable amount of stamina. Think about it. You are basically asking your front line to sprint like Olympians twice a week for 9 straight months. If fatigue sets in, or if that trap is beaten by just one perfectly placed pass, that high defensive line leaves them incredibly vulnerable to getting caught on the counterattack. It's a huge tactical gamble.
So when you put them side by side, the tactical contrast in Spain right now is incredibly stark. On one hand, you have Ancelotti happy to absorb a bit of pressure in the middle of the park, using fluid mid-block transitions to unleash his superstars with that lethal counterattacking speed. And on the other, you have Flick doing the exact opposite, pushing his team incredibly high up the pitch, accepting massive defensive risks to rely on aggressive, suffocating pressing traps. It is for sure going to make their El Clasico matchups this season absolutely fascinating to watch.
Section 4, Premier League system tinkering.
Meanwhile, over in England, both Manchester United and Arsenal are heavily focused on seamlessly integrating their new signings into their complex build-up play. But I want you to look closely at their shared tactical priorities here: wing rotation and rapid ball recovery. Now, they aren't executing this in the exact same way. Arsenal is utilizing intense wing rotations, making sure players like Bukayo Saka and their overlapping fullbacks can seamlessly interchange to completely scramble opposition defenses. United, on the other hand, is heavily drilling rapid ball recovery, implementing these super aggressive triggers the absolute second possession is lost under Erik ten Hag. Both teams know they have to expose and fix any disjointed movements right now before the intense Premier League schedule officially kicks off.
Section 5. Who will dominate 2026/27?
So after analyzing all these tactical frameworks throughout this explainer, from Madrid's terrifying transition speed to Barcelona's suffocating high press, all the way to United and Arsenal's focus on wing rotation and rapid recovery, which club do you think looks the most prepared to dominate this upcoming season? Is it going to be the fluid counterattack, or will the high-risk, high-press ultimately win out?
I really want to hear your thoughts on this. Drop your predictions down in the comments. And hey, if you found this tactical explainer helpful, please share it with a fellow football fan, hit that like button, and be absolutely sure to subscribe so you don't miss our more in-depth tactical breakdowns as the 2026/27 season officially gets underway. Thanks so much for tuning in, and keep your eyes on the tactics board.